नमस्कार दोस्तों, स्वागत है आपका के न्यूज़ 24/7 में। तो चलिए देखते हैं आज की हेडलाइंस। इंटरिम बजट 2024 highlights. FM Nirmala Sitharaman presented the interim budget in the Lok Sabha today. Early in the morning, the Union Cabinet met and approved the budget. In her budget speech, Ms. Sitharaman highlighted the center various programs for women, youth and poor. She noted that the Indian economy has seen a profound transformation and that the government carried out structural reforms. She said the government focus was on four major castes: women, youth, poor, and farmers. The country progress when they progress, she said. FM Sitharaman said that the government pulled 25 crore people out of poverty in 10 years. She noted that government provided free food for 80 crore people through various schemes. Direct benefit transfer of Rs 34 lakh crore through PM Jan Dhan Yojana accounts has led to savings of 2.7 lakh crore. The PM Vishwakarma Yojana scheme provides end-to-end support to artisans. The government provided credit assistance to 70 lakh street vendors under the PM Savananidhi scheme. 30 crore Mudra Yojana loans disbursed to women entrepreneurs. Upskilling and reskilling was a focus for the government and over 1.4 crore youth were trained under the Skill India mission. 43 crore loans sanctioned under PM Mudra Yojana. The government will also expand the Lakpati Didi scheme to empower rural women and boost the rural economy. The government highlighted the role of the India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor can play in world trade. The government will pay more attention to developing the east to fuel India's growth. Inflation has moderated and is within the target band, 2 to 6%. Economic growth has picked up and the average real income of people increased by 50%. The government will subsidize the construction of 30 million affordable houses in rural areas. The center will encourage cervical cancer vaccination and combine maternal and child healthcare scheme into one comprehensive program. The Ayushman Bharat scheme will be expanded to all Asha workers, Anganwadi workers and helpers. Government to encourage nano DAP for various crops and expand its use for all agroclimatic zones. It will also formulate policies to support dairy farmers and defeat the foot and mouth disease. The government will formulate a strategy to achieve Atmanirbharta, self-reliance for oil seeds. This will cover research for high yielding varieties, procurement, value addition and crop insurance. A new department, Matsya Sampada, to be set up to address the needs of fishermen. 40,000 normal rail bogies will be converted to Vande Bharat standards. Government to enhance safety, convenience and safety of passengers. Government to focus on metros in a bid to provide transit-oriented development. The government has announced several schemes to turn net zero by 2070. This includes providing funding to harness offshore wind energy generation for an initial capacity of 1 gigawatt, procuring biomass aggregation machinery and expanding the e-vehicle sector by encouraging more manufacturing and charging infrastructure. Spends on capital expenditure have been increased to 11.11 lakh crore for 2024 to 25. The government will continue on path of fiscal consolidation to reduce fiscal deficit to 4.5% in 2025 to 26. The government proposed to maintain the same tax rates for direct and indirect taxes, including import duties. The government borrowing on a gross and net basis for 2024 to 25 at Rs 14.13 lakh crore and Rs 11.75 lakh crore respectively, lower than 2023 and 24. Pakistan Imran Khan is in political ruin. He is partly to blame. Pakistan fractured politics is in overdrive as the country heads into general elections next week after nearly 2 years of tumult and strife. At stake it not just who forms the next government but what shape of democratic governance emerges in the week and months ahead. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan, hailed as one of the most popular politicians in the country, has already been knocked out of the contest. This week, a local court handed down two jail sentences that also mean that he is barred from holding any public office for a decade. He can still appeal to the higher courts, but as far as the February 8 elections are concerned, his name is already off the ballot. PMLA court sends Hemant Soren to jail. ED today brought him and produced the accused Hemant Soren in the PMLA court in Ranchi, seeking his remand for 10 days. The ED has alleged that Soren was not cooperating in its investigation into the money laundering connected with the Army land scam case. In response, the court declined to provide remand sought by the ED and ordered to send Soren to jail in judicial custody. Also, the court decided to hear the ED's plea on Friday. Hemant Soren, the leader of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, was arrested on Wednesday night. He was arrested in connection with a money laundering case subsequent to his resignation as the chief minister was presented in the PMLA court in Ranchi. The CM has now decided to move the Supreme Court seeking protection against Arrest Enforcement Directorate. The SC is scheduled to hear the case on Friday. Following his resignation, Champai Soren, a loyalist and state transport minister, was designated as his successor. Hemant Soren underwent an extensive 7-hour interrogation by the Enforcement Directorate at his official residence before being arrested in relation to the money laundering case. Subsequently, he was transported to the ED office for a medical examination. According to officials, his health checkup report said he was normal. Alongside Bandh called by a Bandh of Adivasi group in protest against his arrest by the ED evoked mixed response. Though most shops along main roads were closed, shops and marketplaces in Namkom, Doranda, Kanke Road were open. The traffic on highway and city centers was almost normal. National Street Food Festivals comes to Noida from February 2 to 4. Street food from across the country will be made available under one roof as part of the hyper-local street food festival in Noida, called the Noida Utsav, from February 2 to 4, said the organizers, National Association of Street Vendors of India, which has been organizing the National Street Food Festival in Delhi for the past 13 years. Organized in association with SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India. The 3-day festival will be held at Noida Hat in Sector 32 from noon to 10 pm. The organizers said on Wednesday. After organizing the festival in the national capital since 2009, we have decided to bring it to other cities, starting with Noida, in order to widen our horizons and offer more opportunities to micro entrepreneurs. The Noida Utsav will not only include street food vendors from across the country, but also handicraft artisans in order to offer visitors an experience of shopping and savoring street delicacies under one roof, said Sangeeta Singh, street food program head. Odisha government urges all Odiyas to sing Bande Utkal Janani at 11:30 am on February 3. The appeal was made by Odia Language, Literature and Culture Department at a press conference here addressed by Minister Ashwini Patra, Information and Public Relations Department Secretary Sanjay Singh and OLLC Secretary Sujata K. Raut on Wednesday. The government has planned to ensure gatherings in panchayat and block levels to celebrate the occasion, sources said. ऐसे और न्यूज़ को जानने के लिए जुड़े रहिए K News 24/7 के साथ.